I'm Joni Polina with the St. Croix River Valley Holistic Practitioners, and you're here with us on For Your Health. Today, we're talking with Leslee Nelson, owner of Infinite Energy. Leslee's been an entrepreneur in the business field for about the past 16 years. Her fascination with energy began 10 years ago when life events created many challenges for her to be in the business environment. She began her studies through a modality called human design, which incorporates astrology, numerology, and I Ching, through which she gained an understanding of her ability to sense the energy around her. This was the beginning of her fascination of how we as individuals respond to ourselves and our environment. Leslee then did various hands-on healing classes, which led her to a 3-year study in color puncture. And color puncture gave Leslee the comprehension of how our physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual being related together in creating who we are. This knowledge allowed her to gain a vast understanding of our energy and to see energy as an important information source flowing in our being. Questing for wanting to know more about our vast energy systems around us, Leslee found a system called Matrix Energetics, which opened her up to a world of endless possibilities. So here we are today with Leslee. Welcome, Leslee.
Hi, Joni.
I'm so glad you could join us today.
Nice to be here.
Good. And I'm so excited to hear you talk more about your work and your understanding of Matrix Energetics. As I was reading the introduction here a little bit, I wanted to know a little bit more about the endless possibilities. So tell me a little bit more about that.
Well, within my experiences with energy and realizing that all animate and inanimate objects carry energy, it is also information. So as I was out in the world and interacting with people, my physical body would show signs of stress. So I'd come home, I'd be exhausted, headaches, neck ache, back ache, and so it made me start to realize what was going on and try to dive into deeper of the understanding. So that created me to kind of go out and figure this out. It was very uncomfortable and understand what I was doing. So as I was doing this and I ran across human design, I realized that these energies were talking to me and I was taking them on in not a very productive way. For example, I would call a friend and I would be having a really good day, and that friend would explain to me that their day was not going so well, and when I'd get off the phone, my day would seem to pummel.
Oh, okay.
So
I think most of us have had that kind of a thing happen a little bit anyway.
Yes, and so it gives you an understanding of the information that you take on. And this goes on, you don't have to have an interaction with someone. You can just be walking by. We really are in a sea of information and energy all around us all day long.
Sure. Okay. So, can you give us a little bit more information about how you work with kind of some of these, I'll call them subtle energies, because that sort of sounds like what it is to me. It's not like it's hitting you in the face, but all of a sudden we kind of spiral or something. You know, I suppose we can spiral up as much as spiral down, right?
Yes.
So how do you work with those subtle energies?
Well, it's that transferring of the energy between people. And so when I work on people, I work off the body, because that's where the information in their field is for me. And when I tap in, my intuition will lead me to a specific area around the body, and I will see like a waveform or a pattern. And that pattern will either be something that's stuck and not moving for the person, or something new that's coming in, and then I just watch the energy change and mutate and transform.
Okay. So when you say you see the energy, are you actually seeing things with your eyes, or you're feeling it, or both, or?
Both.
Okay.
actually. So when I'm actually working on someone, I actually see the whole energy waveform.
Okay.
So it's spinning, and there's sound, and there's color, and there's dimension to it.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Huh. Okay, so you then tap into what it is you're feeling and seeing there. So it's not, I mean, is it like lines that you see while you're working on someone, or is it sort of like a wind tunnel kind of an effect, or just so that we can kind of help people understand what's going on in your thoughts?
A little bit of all.
Oh, okay.
So sometimes it will just come in just lines. If you're familiar with sacred geometry, sometimes it'll come in as triangles or octagon shapes, and then that starts to spin, and then more lines and shapes come in and form something new.
Oh, okay. All right.
And then that is, that moves and changes.
Sure.
And goes, you know, the energy is its own intelligence.
Okay. And so you're kind of watching it come and move, and then also feeling it and helping it to shift into whatever the intention is for where it needs to go.
Correct.
Okay, good. All right, all right. I think we talked before the show started on energetic imprints. Can you give me a little bit of background on that piece?
So these waveform artwork that comes through is...
And that's the piece we're going to show people today, is your waveform artwork.
Right.
Got it, okay.
And so when someone comes in and states an intention of what they want to work on, I connect to their higher self, which in my higher self connects to the divine, or God. And the highest of love and light energy comes through. And with that, I start drawing. It's kind of like an automatic drawing, kind of like automatic writing. A line will come through, and then another line, and then they start connecting, and this form comes through on the paper. And then when I usually work on the person, I will see the whole, so what I get is a fractal of the actual energy wave that comes through.
Okay.
And so when I'm working on the person, I'll see it more in all of its dimensions, its multidimensional sense, its frequencies and vibrations. And on the paper, it carries all that, but it's just a piece of the whole.
Okay. And that's what you consider energetic imprints, is this little piece, fractal of the whole.
Right.
Okay.
And that is the piece that the person will work with then after the session.
Okay, okay. And that's interesting because we went through this and I loved it. Something brand new to me, but it was really fun for me to be able to experience it, and I could hardly stand it that I couldn't watch you doing this. So I'm so glad that we were able to tape it and that we'll get to see that in a little bit. But before we go to that, I found it very interesting that you have so many energetic imprints that you have and that in your possession, that you've made copies for the people you've worked with, and you've been able to keep your copy. So before we get to showing people exactly how that worked between you and me, I would like to go to some of the other pieces that you have already done, and we'll put them on the camera so that you can talk about those pieces. Does that make sense for the next step?
Yes.
Okay, have we left anything
Great.
else out we need to kind of talk about?
I don't think so.
Okay,
I think
so
we're
the
good.
overall umbrella of this is that somebody comes to you with an intention, and then you have them state that intention, and you immediately begin to pick up some energy information because you are connecting to their higher power.
Right.
And that energy comes through you in the form of artwork.
Yeah.
Lines, maybe people call it artwork, maybe they don't call it artwork, I don't know, but anyway, you get an image on the paper and it's fascinating.
Right.
And then you take that piece and you work further with it by doing some of the other energy work on their body, off their body, not on
Right.
their body, but off their body. Okay, so we did the first part of it for this show, and I'm hoping you'll do another show with me where we're working with that in the body, because we didn't get that far. So we'll do the first show talking about some of these imprints and how that works.
Okay.
Good.
Sounds
So
good.
let's go to the first piece that you want
Okay.
to show people. We'll put it up on the screen so everybody has a chance to take a look at it, and maybe you can discuss it here for us. what are we seeing there?
Next one is about connecting to one's own energy. So as I was describing earlier, when you are not fully connected within your own energy and you're allowing other energies to come in, it creates an off balance.
Okay.
And so the more we can resonate with our own vibration and are aware of there's something in our field that really isn't ours, we can move it out or shift it or not allow it to create the imbalance. So we wouldn't be affected by somebody else's mood.
Okay.
Or
got it. Like the friendship thing. Somebody called you and you
Exactly.
picked up their energy and bam,
Yep.
we
And
joined
can
them on
be-
their plane.
And we can be more present and compassionate for what they're going through, but we don't have to take it on.
Okay, so is there something on that picture that tells you that somebody is holding on to someone else's energy?
Well, in this particular one, it's like the antenna in the middle and the little spiral and the antenna going up. That's their connection to their higher self.
Okay.
And then the two that are swirling and they're like looped together like a little rainbow there.
In the upper middle, yeah?
Yep. And that's showing all the interconnections, you know, body, mind, spirit, their emotions.
Okay.
And staying grouped together and connected with and all that of their own energies.
Okay.
And then you can kind of see the swirling is all going towards the middle, the centering.
All the big lines on the
Yep.
outside? Okay.
And so it's keeping that, all that interconnected
Okay.
piece happening.
Okay,
for
so
someone.
so this is telling you that someone is taking in too much of other people's energy, but at the same time trying to stay connected to their own truism?
Right.
Okay.
So if someone was to work with this,
Mhm.
it would just help them resonate with their own vibration.
Okay.
And so they would feel, oh, wait a minute, I was just with that person, something doesn't quite feel right. I need to pull back inward
Okay.
and feel my connected,
Got it.
my hands, you know.
Your own
self.
internal true
Right,
self.
your vibration again.
Okay. So this is sort of an increase in awareness for people in some respects, but also just a really working with that energy too.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
And understanding it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we understand something, we can move forward with it. That's
Mhm.
for sure. All right, on to the next one.
This one is more of the little bubbles on the kind of upper left, with the spirals going off of them, is a pattern of the mind. So with this person, they were trying to break away from an old pattern or an old belief that no longer is serving them any good.
Sure.
We all, you know, grow up, you know, beliefs of our family because that's where our belief system starts.
Mhm.
And then through life we understand different things and it no longer serves us. But sometimes bringing that to our conscious awareness that it no longer serves is what this drawing is about, and to be able to move it out and open up to the other possibilities of what might allow them to have a new belief.
Okay.
And so they can move forward. On the right here is kind of the spinning off of that belief system.
Meaning they're starting to move it out because they've
Break it away.
identified it?
Right.
Okay, all right.
So these imprints really work outside of the analytical mind.
Okay.
And so it brings in more of the unconscious. And so that's why they work really well in dream state.
Oh, okay. All
And so
right.
you don't, you know, the conscious awareness will come throughout the day and in your regular life, but you don't have to do all the work in the awakened state.
Oh, okay, all right. That's why you told me to take my drawing home and put it next to my bed?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
I don't know how many, I think I've had it there for 2 weeks, and I just
Yeah.
love knowing that it's there, and we'll have to talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah.
And is there anything on that picture about the kind of the spaceship-looking thing that's on the left?
That is just connecting the outer and the inner.
Okay.
So making that connection with what that belief system is.
Oh, okay, all right.
You know.
The environment versus the internal self.
Right.
Got
and,
it.
and it doesn't always have to come as a conscious awareness.
Okay.
It can just come about and then, you know, later on you go, oh, I used to believe that.
Sure.
You know, and it just can kind of fade up. No, it doesn't have to be as hard as we can make it.
Okay.
In our mind.
And I'm making it kind of hard because I'm asking you to do an explanation here of all these things. Okay, good.
This
Next
one.
Yes, a lot of action there, looks like
Mhm.
to me. Does that represent action? Does that feel like a lot of action to you, or just it means a lot of movement?
A lot of movement, a lot of action, a lot of transcending, transformational work.
Okay. So big changes.
Big changes.
Okay.
Yep, that we all are going through, but also with lots of love. It's very soft and very flowing. The lines are...
Sure. So this one was a specific person, or was this more of a sign of the times, or the 2012, or what are you saying?
Yeah, this was more of the times.
Okay.
I channeled this one in actually after doing a long weekend of transformational work.
Oh, okay.
And so I wanted to bring something in that would help everyone do all the work that we all did that weekend.
Okay.
And raising vibration and DNA work. And yeah, so when it came through, it was just, it's beautiful. I actually have this one in color on my website.
Oh, cool.
So,
okay, good, good.
Yeah.
Well, we'll put your website up there too so people can go there.
Yeah.
Good, okay. And the next one?
This one was for a migraine. So someone came in suffering from a migraine, and as you can see, the swirling on the upper left-hand side looks very chaotic, stuck energy, and then on the lower right, the energy coming in and swirling on the outside of it and breaking it up, and on the very right-hand side with the stem towards the bottom of the page is like a key opening up that block.
Oh, I see.
And releasing the stressor that is creating the headache, maybe the resistance of the change that they're going through, that they are choosing they don't want to go there, and just being able to manage it more and bringing the flow through.
Okay, cool. All right. Good. Well, let's see. So we kind of wanted to tease people a little bit so that they got a sense of some of the pictures that you do, and then we wanted to show them, we did some filming of when we were working together.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to put some of that on right now. And the piece that we're going to show first is just how we were set up in your office. So there I am laying on the table, and you're off to one side. And sometimes you said people lay down, they sit down, they sit next to you.
Mm-hmm.
So it can really take any shape.
Right.
Of configuration in your office or in someone's home or wherever it might be. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And so then I wanted to make sure that we could cut away to you as you felt the energy. So why don't you kind of explain? Well, we'll just let the picture kind of go a little bit here.
Okay.
All right, in silence, and we'll kind of watch your hand pick up the energy. Here we go. Okay.
Your intention was to bring in more peace.
Yes.
So the first line that came through, the large line right in the center, came through, and then did we write that down? Oh, we did.
No, but it was this way.
Oh, was it?
Because this is my brain.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Just start over because we can cut all this because we're just going to let that show as you go through.
But
And
do
then
you remember?
now, just talk about what's here.
Okay, and don't go with the lens. Okay.
No. So we'll just cut to quiet. Okay, now give us a lead in. And then you turned it around and showed it. So maybe you do want to do, well, no.
So your intention was to bring in more peace.
It was to be to have peace in my heart and to have peaceful relationships. I just love peaceful ideas, so that's kind of where I'm going.
So what came through first was that middle section, the first main line, but on the upper part with the circle and then the lines going off of that there was a belief there.
Okay.
Some belief that was stating that was creating you to not be completely peaceful within relationships.
You bet, sure.
So that led to the middle piece and the birthing of creating that inner peace.
Okay.
And on the lower right was some language for your soul to help you transform that belief into a new belief that yes, all relationships can be peaceful and in harmony and
Cool.
flow with ease.
Okay.
And on the upper left is the whole of what is transpiring in the middle of the figure 8 and as a whole these relationships in peace and harmony. So it's almost like that middle section was the fractal of the ending piece.
Okay, so if you had mentioned to me as we were talking about it, if we picked up that 8 on the left-hand side and kind of made it a little bigger and superimposed it over the top of the center section, you can kind of see how the 8 is forming in the center section. And so it's a work in progress.
Right.
Got it.
Yeah, and the flow of the energy is coming from the right, so that tells me it was working on the right side of the brain,
Okay.
which is the more masculine.
Mm.
And then the right side of the brain works with the left side of the body,
Uh-huh.
which is receiving, which is more feminine.
Okay.
And so this belief system was something within just allowing yourself to receive
Oh,
the
okay.
peace
Sure.
within relationships.
Makes good sense. I was just fascinated, Leslie, with how your hand just went all over the page and then all of a sudden it became a picture. That's just amazing to me. I don't know how in the world that happens other than to say you're picking up the energy and it moves your hand.
Yes.
It's quite amazing.
That's kind of how it all started. I was just doodling.
Oh.
And then I realized, oh, wait a minute, this is kind of looking interesting. And my intuition told me to keep trying, and then people were stating intentions. We were getting together as a group and just playing in the energy with friends. And that's why I call it automatic drawing, because I really don't do artwork.
Uh-huh. Okay.
And it just comes through, and my hand just automatically goes to the part of the page that needs to be there. And it draws out, and they all connect in the end. So I never
Interesting.
know, I don't get the vision in my head first and then go on paper. I've tried that. It
Okay.
doesn't work.
Okay, interesting.
So I wish, because
Uh-huh.
sometimes when I see it when I'm doing a session, you can really see the dynamic of it.
Okay.
And the color, the vibration, there's frequency. There's so much movement with it.
Okay.
And so I'm just getting a snapshot
Sure.
of that.
Okay, makes good sense. So we finished this, and it was fascinating to me. And then you had me take it home. We used a little muscle testing, and it said I should keep it next to my bed for about 4 or 5 days. Well, as I mentioned before, I kept it for about 2 weeks now, which is fine. And I have to say, it was very interesting to me that I began to see situations very differently in my life. I felt happier. I felt as though I was much slower to anger about anything. And I started to see people in my life having their own situation they're dealing with, and it had nothing to do with me, so I had no reason to have a reaction, which was huge, because that's probably that belief thing that's at the top of the page. I've always felt from my family of origin, I'm supposed to take charge of all kinds of things, and it's so wonderful not to have to, and to be able to reconnect with my inner peace that says, no, I'm here and I'm okay.
And that is the truth. And beliefs can do that without even us acknowledging that that is going on. And so in your dream state, you work that out.
Great.
And through the energy that the imprint was giving you. And it all come back to us. It always does.
Okay. Yeah.
How we view things.
Yeah. Absolutely. Sure.
To relate. So.
Yeah, good. Well, that's the first part. This is the first step with your work, and that is to get the information, the energy picture on paper, and then you work with that. And I'm hoping you'll do another TV show with me regarding that piece.
Yes, I would love to.
Good. Okay. Is there anything, comment, statement, anything you'd like to leave our group with before we talk about how to find you?
I don't think so. I think
we've covered it.
We've covered.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Well, then tell people, how do we find you? Your phone number and where you work and how to connect with you.
I have a website.
Okay.
www.yourinfiniteenergy.com. I can be reached by phone, and this is all on my website also.
Okay, but let's
So
put the phone number up there.
It's 651-260-5622.
Okay.
There's lots of information about the imprints on my website, about energy and the information they carry.
Okay.
If someone's more interested in
Just
the verbiage.
learning a little bit more about it. Okay. And so a session with you is it an hour? Is it a half hour? Or how do you work with that?
It can be 45 minutes to an hour.
Okay.
As you see, the drawings come in fairly quickly. The energy does too.
Okay.
So it kind of varies
Okay.
in what the person is looking to achieve.
Okay. Very
So,
good. Very
yeah.
good. Well, it was great fun to see everything that you have here and to talk with you today and help the world understand how this energy pictures, I don't know, energy diagrams, I don't know exactly what it is, but it's wonderful, and it's so much fun to have one for me to have with me and to just sort of ponder and feel that energy coming out of it. It feels really good. So thanks for being here with us today.
Well, thank you.
Great, okay. Thanks everybody for joining us today on For Your Health. We hope you'll stay tuned. We have other shows coming. There are a number of us, so please keep watching, and we'll probably show you a few things you've heard about or know about, and several things like perhaps this that you do not know about yet, but that you may want to hear about. We're all about helping you learn how to take your health in your own hands. Be the best that you can be, and be healthy and successful and happy. How great is that? Stay tuned. We'll bring you more. Bye-bye.